Well, that was interesting. Sorry, I'm sorry, Dennis. Thank you for the call, communist governor.
Yeah. You know, the 0.5% additional tax that we're paying here in Oahu, they're collecting the money. That money cannot be used for anything but rail. And you know, in fact, I just got an email yesterday that the United States government is going to be giving us $55 million this year in federal funding, New Starts funding for the rail transit project. So our congressional delegation is at work for us. Even our president, you know, that's the amount he requested in his budget, $55 million for now, for this year, and it's been approved. So we're on the right track. I'm not sure what he's talking about, the state being broke, because every year the budget does need to be balanced. So it's not that, you know, we're in debt and out of money. So
well, let's address that maybe just, you know, in a bare bones budget. You know, we have certain funds that are being collected, certain ones that are allocated, as well as some federal subsidy.
mm-hmm.
What if we exceed that budget? Does the work stop? That's from me, actually. You know, I stimulated from our caller.
Yeah. You know, I'm sorry, I couldn't really speak to that. What happens, you know, if we exceed the budget? I do know that out of the 5.5, I believe, that is budgeted for the rail transit project, that $1 billion is actually in contingency funds. So that's for in case, you know, the budget goes over.
I see.
So they're actually to plan and design and build the project. What really they think it should cost is about $4.5 billion, out of which we get 1.55 from the federal government. So the rest is what's going to be paid by the taxpayers. And you know, I do believe that right now we have two contracts from Kiewit Building Group to build the rail that came in under budget. So right now, you know, things are looking great.
Yeah, and Kiewit is a local company.
Kiewit has a local arm here. They've been here.
Using local manpower.
Yes,
you know,
local manpower.
You know, I personally have some excuse me, some mixed emotions, but I'm all mixed up. But you know, construction does stimulate the economy, right. And having good friends within the trade, we see that the benches are all full right now.
Right.
You know, because there's no work available.
Right.
So putting that manpower, you know, and activating them does have the most direct economic benefit. For example, when we had the federal economic stimulus, I was fortunate enough, not necessarily to sit on the panel, but to be able to engage discussion with one of the panelists, and he just wanted to see, you know, my insight. And before our conversation got any further, I was telling him that, you know, there's no question in my mind it's going to go to construction, and what I would like to see, if I could have any bearing on the outcome of those conversations, would be I'd like to see our infrastructure improve. You know, when we have our sewer lines, our existing roads repaired, then say if I take myself out on a limb and say, if it were my choice, say, okay, let's get this rail done. Now we have the roads that are in good condition to support the transit to and from the rail, and for the rail to do its part, you know, in transporting people from city to city. and without that, I think, you know, it's kind of building on a little shaky base. But hopefully, you know, we have a lot of those.
Well, I
things
mean, I
gonna be
think you can
addressed.
see that, you know, from the economic stimulus, that there have been a lot of transportation projects that got started. A lot of the roads are being repaved. I mean, every weekend there's lane closures on the highway going back to where we live in East Oahu, because, you know, there's road work going on. So there is construction going on, and
that's great. The funny thing is, I was just driving around, and it came to me like maybe as late as last night, when the popular joke, and I'm not sure if you folks used to joke around about this, but oh damn, they're doing road work again. This must be an election year.
oh yeah.
And now, because you know, the financial constraints on the state's economy, it's kind of like, for me, it's like, yes, you know, they're doing road work now, because, you know, it's important to have the roads, you know, functional.
Right.
Good to see that happening.
Yeah. I know I wasn't really going to talk statistics or anything, Alan, but, you know, the statistic for how much, what an economic stimulus it is to build a rail system is that for every dollar spent, $6 will circulate throughout the economy. So it's the people who are building it, you know, they're spending at the grocery stores, they're going shopping again, and, you know, that just lifts everyone up, right? When people start spending money again, people can buy the pulalis again.
Yes. Please. Okay, man, I don't want to throw you a curveball here, because I do want to be a gracious host, but you probably have better answers or more information than me, so not probably, you have more information available. Why a rail as opposed to a double-decker?
Oh, because of the TOD. No questions. You know, if without rail,
what is a TOD?
The transit-oriented development. So without rail, you won't see that kind of redevelopment happening along our urban corridor. So if you build a double-decker, what's going to happen is, where are people going to live? They're going to have to live farther out, right? We're going to see more sprawl, and people are still going to have to use that freeway to come into town. But with rail and TOD, we can redevelop the urban corridor and see, you know, neighborhoods get rebuilt and flourish again, so that people can live in town and, you know, be able to ride the train.
Well, definitely interesting conversation, because, you know, like, again, a recurring theme for me is, you know, I don't know about this, but the more I learn about it, I wouldn't say I'm a convert yet. You know, I haven't picked up my real Bible. But definitely, you know, food for thought for me. For those of you listening in, it's Brother Dennis calling in from the Big Island, 296-5467. We're here with Cheryl Walthall from Pacific Resource Partnership. Okay, Cheryl. What, how is the rail ridership? What's the fees going to be incurred? Is it going to be like a universal pass, like Japan?
The fees. Sorry, you know, I don't have that number offhand, but it's going to be, you know, a set fee for similar to the bus, what you pay for riding the bus now. And from what I understand is, if you pay to get on a bus that takes you to the train station, you'll be able to take a transfer and get on the bus without paying an additional fee. So you know how I talked about the transit being a system where it works with the bus? You know, that one fee will get you on the bus and on your train, and then back on a bus on the other end if you need it.
And this is going to be managed by the city, the finance?
As of now, yes, I believe. There's a rail transit authority that's been put into place. They've been recently formed. I don't think they're I think they start actually in July, but they're gonna manage, you know, oversight of the project. And
that's a plus, because then you see that income from the ridership coming right back into the city.
Right. Yeah.
And then I can kind of see, for those of you who haven't had a chance to ride rail in Japan in particular, you know, there's this Japanese, typically a man with a little hat on, and if you pay the wrong transfer fee, then he goes all berserk. I think we might be a little bit more successful here in Hawaii, as we have, you know, large, imposing Polynesian males. Hey, brother, but you gotta pay the difference. Because it's you know, actually I'm kind of getting excited now. Like I said, I probably won't give up my vehicles, because I'm hoping to die a townie as long as I can continue to pay my mortgage. And growing up in my generation, you know, it's important for me to not only have a car, but it needs to be V8.
It needs to be a V8.
And I'm kind of dreading the day when everything goes hybrid, because that's so not 1980s muscle car.
Right.
But you know, the thing that you said earlier is, you know, we're thinking about the future here, and
Right.
you know, maybe this is something not for us, not for our generation, but a way to equip, you know, our children and their children
Mhm.
with a better future.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, well, we want to thank the Waffles for coming in today. Any last words from you, Justin?
No, I just thank you for. I just wanted to thank you for having us here, Helen. It was a pleasure being here and spending the last hour with you.
Yep.
Now remember, Great Harvest is a locally owned and operated family business coming down already one generation past. No, Adam is like not
No,
much older than
not
me.
much older than me.
But you know, we'll count that as passing one generation to the next. I want to thank Cheryl for coming out
And
from
thank you,
Pacific
Alan.
Resource Partnership, the first time husband and wife team. Kaleo o Kalihi, part of the Think Tech series here at AM 760 KGU. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Thanks.